So can you describe the living conditions in Minidoka?
Well, I remember when we first got there, the only thing I could remember was the dust. And I remember we came by train to a stop, and then we got into army buses and army trucks, not buses, army trucks, I think it was, and taken to Minidoka. And today Eden must be maybe about 10 miles. I think it's about 10 miles. So we went by army truck and got there, and then when we got dumped there, then there were other evacuees, call them evacuees, euphemism, but evacuees who then directed us to our quarters.
And what were those quarters like?
Pretty barren. The only thing they were there was, again, 4 camp cots. But this time we had mattresses, cotton mattresses, so it was a little bit better. But there was a pot-bellied stove in the middle of it, because it was my mother, my sister, my brother, and I, the 4 of us. We got a room rather than have to share with them. There were people who were smaller families, like families of 3, had to share a space with somebody else, like another bachelor or usually another woman. Not too many single women, but they would. But because there were 4 of us, we had 4 camp cots, and we had I remember thinking, we got one of the smaller rooms, but at least it was a room that we had of our own, and with a pot-bellied stove. The pot-bellied stove implied that we had to have fuel for it. I had no idea where it was coming from until we were told that if we go by the railroad siding, and so this is when I'm wondering why we went from Eden by bus, army trucks, to the camp when there were railroad siding, because that's where the coal was dumped. And that's where we went to scrounge coal for our pot-bellied stove. In September it wasn't too bad, but by October and November it was clear that we needed to go. So we would rush out to go get the coal. When it arrived, we would be notified that the coal had arrived, and then we'd all rush down with our boxes and bags to go get the coal so we would be able to heat our rooms. The interesting thing was that the coal piles became places where rattlesnakes would crawl up. So you had to be careful. I remember that. I remember seeing that only once, though. But I would help my mother go get the coal, so I remember that.